But today I'm going to be talking about the trifecta full body light bed. So I told you about the rules. I'm going to tell you that I'm in love with this thing. And one of the things that we call it is the fountain of youth. I also call it the anti-aging bed. I literally, when I get in this bed, when I get out of the bed, things are different. My energy, how I feel in general, but internally as well as externally. I love the thing. Other people call it life-changing. We're not just making nice here. We're not just doing one thing. We're doing many things. So we're taking people who are, maybe they're having neurological issues, or obviously with weight loss, all these different things. So it's absolutely life-changing. Other people call it the miracle bed, the wall body bed, the red light bed. I don't care what you guys call it. When you get your own bed, you can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to early on start off with an apology. I'm going to come across like a nut. I'm crazy about this stuff. So I may sound a little crazy to you. So I apologize if you feel that way. But if you were going to get feedback, like I'm going to play this short video for you, if you were to get this kind of feedback every day or every other day, this kind of feedback, tell me how you would feel.
It just took a few weeks for it to all of a sudden take off to the point that, our books are scheduled for weeks out, which is crazy. These are really, really exciting surprises. People are seeing results even just at the first visit. We had a woman who just did 4 sessions, and she was down 6 inches around one spot on her abdomen. Not every single person, they finish up maybe their trial or they buy a package, and they look at their pictures and they look back at us shocked that they're even the same person, because we're seeing some really, really incredible inch loss. And then we've also had a few people with fibromyalgia who tried it out for weight loss, and their fibromyalgia was so much better that now they're coming in routinely for that purpose. It is incredible to see kind of wound healing, skin healing up, even scarring and stretch marks. Honestly, it feels as though people are looking younger. Not only is there the inch loss there, but the tightness and firmness of their skin. People are really excited about that. We have had one patient who had alopecia, so he had spots of hair missing that he's had for 10 years. His hair has grown back in the spots. My only complaint is I need more space in my office to do more, because it's just really, really taking off. And like I said, every surprise is a happy surprise, and we're just absolutely loving it. It's just...
So what do you think? I mean, how would you feel if you were getting this kind of feedback on a regular basis? So what can your clients expect? Across the board, there's a lot of, things that you can't really measure. You can't put a little meter on somebody and say, how much their energy is. But across the board, people will report of feeling more energy, more clarity. In other words, they can think. The fog is lifted. They describe it like that. Better sleep. We're seeing this regularly. Insomnia way improved. Better digestion. Better overall health. Looking younger. Happier. Now, there's a whole discussion I can have just on why are people feeling better about their lives with the light. And it kind of makes sense. We're on this planet with this thing called the sun. And the more light a person's exposed to, and the good elements of light, it makes sense that they might feel happier. The skin, across the board, the skin improves dramatically. That's why these people get beautiful facelifts, cellulite, skin issues, the whole thing. Even improved eyesight. And I'm telling you, when I get into bed, I don't wear goggles. I don't want to cover up my eyes. I just keep my eyes closed. There are some people that are so hypersensitive, they'll want to wear the goggles, but I would recommend you try to suggest to them, just get in the bed with your eyes closed. And then what I do is I blink through it, and eventually I have my eyes open probably 50% of the time. And yes, those lights are stronger than hell, but I'm telling you, there's all the evidence that shows that we're going to help people with their eyes. What are we talking about? Floaters, cataracts, any retinal issues, including even macular degeneration, healing the heck out of those things. And then the thing that will drive more business into a facility than all of these things combined is weight loss. And there's a whole separate section of success that people are having just with weight loss. So what can you as a practitioner expect? Now, look, I've been in practice since 1978. And I want to tell you that when I got home at the end of a day, I would have an agreement with my family to let me kind of have a half an hour, let's say, of decompression time, because it was intense. Now using light therapy and in the bed, it's so easy that there's more joy, much less stress, more success, and a lot more money in the long run with this. And what I'm hearing from people more than ever is that their clients are saying things like, "Thank you for giving me my life back." Now, as a chiropractor, I loved hearing that. That was part of my, so to speak, income, I'd call it. Yes, I got paid, but I loved getting the feedback of how much we're helping people. But we're hearing this type of feedback more than ever. I started in 79, and I did well. I did really well. And then someone came to me and said, "You should learn more about this thing called light therapy." And I said, "Okay, we'll try it." And I had my doubts, but you know what? And what I would do is I'd go to each of my patients and say, "Look, they're telling me it can't hurt," but they didn't really know back in those years how much, what did it do? All we knew is it couldn't hurt you. So I'd go to my patient and say, "What you got?" And this lady says, "I have gum disease." I have no idea. And sure enough, we helped her gum disease. And this guy said kidneys, and we helped his kidneys. And this guy had a ripped Achilles tendon that we knew he needed surgery, but I asked I suggested to the orthopedic surgeon, who I knew, "Let me have this week. We're going to treat the heck out of him with this light." And he didn't need the surgery at the end. I'm not telling you the orthopedist was thrilled about that, but he didn't need surgery at the end. And it absolutely revolutionized my practice. I was healing things I never believed I could heal before. And then someone says, "You know what? That ain't good enough." What do you mean it's not good enough? You can actually use an element of light therapy that will assist in reducing fat in the body. And then I said, okay, now I took it even more seriously, and I started getting involved in manufacturing it, probably less than 10 years ago. And each year, we always wanted to come out with the best, right? I mean, over these years, we didn't want to have not the best, crazy to start manufacturing and not do the best. So, the slides are mixed up. So hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come back to that one. You know what? So each year we came out with the best. We'll talk more about what we finally came out with, but I want you to hear from Angela. Now, Angela Rayleigh was a massage therapist, and she wasn't so sure, all that sort of stuff. And I convinced her, and I said, "Look, you're going to love this bed." So she got the bed, and just take a listen.
Well, for me, myself, I've experienced a lot of change in my body, about 17 inches cumulative, and also arthritis. I have arthritis in my hands because of massage therapy. The nodules in my fingers are completely disappeared. I have neuropathy, and my neuropathy is much, much better, no pain. And then I've seen a lot of changes in all of my clients, whether it's pain management or weight loss, just in the 2.5 months that I've had it. I had a 13-pound tumor about 30 years ago that was removed, and the scar tissue was very thick internally, not just externally, but internally. It had caused issues like ulcerative colitis, but that scar, you can tell, is almost completely gone, especially internally. I do not have the bumps in the knot, and the scar tissue that I could feel internally. It's been a great experience for me in that, and I've been very excited. That's actually one of my selling points that I tell everybody is how that scar tissue has disappeared. It's really picked up my income tremendously.
So a question you might have is, well, how does this thing work? You know what? It's about the sun. As I described before about being happier, it's all about the sun. So the sun has certain elements that we've known over centuries that it helps with healing. But now imagine taking elements of the sun, concentrating it many, many, many times, and driving it into the person's body. And what we found is that this light, actually, how does it work, is it affects the cells down to the level of the mitochondria. They didn't even realize how sensitive the mitochondria was to lights. But when they started doing the research to figure out, well, why does this thing work, they realized it was all about the mitochondria. Well, what happens is the mitochondria stimulates the ATP production. So the light affects the mitochondria. That dramatically increases ATP production. And what they now realize that ATP production will increase circulation, healing. It's many of the effects that are on the body are related to the mitochondria and the ATP. Now, the weight loss is a different mechanism. It's a completely different mechanism. And so we'll talk more about that in a little while. But as I was telling you, and this slide should have come in right after I was saying about improving our results and always wanting to have the best equipment, we've come out with the 2022 with the bed. But before I talk about the bed, someone asked me, well, why do you call it trifecta? And it has to do with the triple effect of the face, the fat, and the healing. So we're going to affect the person's face, giving them a facelift. We're going to help them with their fat and get rid of the fat, and we're going to help them with healing, as I've described before. But what we realized is actually other things that are not included in these three. So, but I'm not changing the name. We're keeping it trifecta. But we know that it helps cellulite, which is really not kind of any of these categories, and it's not subtle with the cellulite. And then also we have a whole division of the company related to men's health, because of how the bed affects not only the body but the brain and the head, affecting hormone production, including testosterone. It helps with circulation, as I said before, so it will help with erectile dysfunction. But they've even shown proof that the sperm are actually improved motility-wise and health-wise. And so that's a whole nother division. And then someone pointed out there's another division called the performance and recovery. If you have any athletes, you throw them in the bed before their activity, before they're playing basketball, before they're doing whatever that activity is. You get them in the bed, and they will perform way better. Now, after the activity, they get back in the bed, and they will recover from that activity way faster. I mean, it's not subtle. The results are incredible with that. So how does it work with weight loss? So come a little closer. If you look at the skin here, you'll see they call this orange peel skin. This lady was not grossly overweight, but she hated the way she looked. So not only are the lights beautiful on shrinking fat cells, but it actually tightens the skin. So that's why it's integrated with red and near infrared. The red is what mostly affects the fat, and it does some healing, but it's mostly affecting the fat. It's the near infrared that affects everything else, with the contouring, the tightening, all that sort of stuff. So we've integrated our lights with red and near infrared, and after 2 to 3 times a week, 12-minute sessions, this is a 5-week program. Look at the results. And yes, this person was thrilled with this, what we call platinum skin. I mean, the results are not subtle, right? They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, the reason why I include this picture, this lady is postmenopausal, 64 years old. And according to Dr. Cortez's office in Florida, she did not change her diet at all. She went 2 to 3 times a week for 12-minute sessions for around 7 weeks. And these results are not subtle. They're beautiful. But the reason why I like to include, and I've got hundreds of before and after pictures from all over the country, but this one, the reason why I like this one is because I want to show you not only do we get the fat handled, but look at how it tightens the skin. We don't have sagging skin. We don't have stretch marks. And so that's why I have this picture there. And then we talked about the anti-aging facelift. So look at the fine lines and wrinkles. Look at under the chin and jowl region. This is a 72-year-old lady who sent me the pictures. She's the one that took the picture first, and then 4 visits later, she sent me the after picture. And again, look at the under the chin, look at the fine lines and wrinkles, and wow. Now, not everybody's going to respond this quickly, 4 sessions. But I just wanted you to see how beautiful this is. We sell a 12-visit package. And so even with her, we would see her the whole 12 visits, because you want to lock in those results And then you're going to see these people once a month after that to maintain the results as long as possible. We mentioned cellulite to you. This lady was not grossly overweight. She just hated the way her leg looked. And after 3 weeks, look at that. I mean, it's not subtle. The results are incredible. Then we talked about its ability to heal. I can't show you a ripped Achilles tendon or, a destroyed rotator cuff, but we did have this lady who came in with severe burns. The wound center guaranteed her 6 months of pain, 6 months of healing, and permanent scarring afterwards. And after 2 weeks, it was gone. It was gone. After 2 visits, the pain was dramatically reduced, but after 2 weeks, it was gone. So the lights are unbelievably healing. So I had my staff put down the most common things that we treat. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here that you can create an entire career out of. In the beginning, I didn't know about macular degeneration, that it would help that. And yes, we're having great results with that. Or fibromyalgia, or shingles, or Lyme disease, this is tough. We have one guy that was sickened by Lyme disease since the age of 12, and he's in his 50s. Unbelievable how devastating this has been, debilitating. He wasn't able to function, and now he's functioning much better. But in the world of skin, and I talked to you about that. Oh, by the way, hair restoration, you heard that lady talk about, we have regularly people telling us at the end of a shower, they would notice normally hair in the bottom of the shower, and they don't have that anymore. So it will halt thinning, and in many cases, it will reverse that. But we're talking about skin. It affects nearly every skin condition. So acne, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, sagging skin, scars, stretch marks, sunburns. What's not on here is skin tags. I don't know why I didn't have it on here. We have people who've had these skin tags that look really lousy, and we've seen very good results with that as well. So, but the thing besides weight loss that's very popular and drives a lot of business into facilities is peripheral neuropathy. Now, I've had every class of lights you can imagine. I had the class 1, 2, 3, 4, and within that we also had a variety of class 4s, and they work great. But for me to do peripheral neuropathy, it's like a long-term endeavor. I got to do the spine, the low back, follow down the thigh, making sure to cover the sciatic notch, down the thigh, down the leg, do the foot. We're talking about 20 to 30 minute project. Whereas with this, the person gets in the bed, they get out of the bed, that's it. and it works phenomenally well with them. So this is Dr. Woods. Now, Dr. Woods doesn't use it for weight loss at all. I want you to hear what she has to say.
It's doing really good with the bed. I use it for bed specifically for the rock patients and their pain management protocols. It works excellent for them. Actually, most of the neuropathy people, they all notice at the same, pretty much by the end of the first week, which would be 3 treatments at my clinic, that they can then sleep and they don't notice the covers. So far they've all commented on the same thing, covers. By the end of the 2nd to 3rd week, most of them then start talking to me about things that they can do, how it's affecting their daily living and activities, how they can walk in parking lots, for example, that might have some gravel in them where before they couldn't. And they all love it. All of the neuropathy people love it. I firmly believe that if you do the best you can and you get people better, it sells itself. And that's what it does. I don't advertise that in my practice. That's pretty much booked all the time without me trying to even advertise it. My mother has Parkinson's advanced stage, and she also has dementia. The very first time she got into bed, getting her into bed was very, very difficult. She was so rigid, but getting out of the bed was very easy. But what's interesting is the impact it had on her dementia. She's much more coherent. She can walk. Now she's done the bed enough that when she gets in it, to get out, she doesn't even need assistance. She gets out on her own, which it's remarkable. I never thought I'd see that. I love the bed. My patients love the bed. I haven't really had anybody say anything negative about it. I don't see the demographic yet that the bed couldn't help, whether it be my practice or any practice, to be quite honest. Things are going
Like I said, I get this kind of feedback on a regular basis, and it's fun. If you get a chance, I would recommend you go to scholar.google.com if you want to learn more. You'll get, instead of the regular Google search line, you'll get the scholarly one. And what I'd recommend is you put in the word photobiomodulation, :space, and then whatever condition you want to find out about. So somebody asked me about lymphedema today, for example. Someone asked me about, I already told you about Lyme disease, so you could put any condition in there and you'd be surprised at kind of how much research has been done. It's quite extensive on light therapy. And out of the thousands of research that has been done, guess what percentage was done in the United States? Way under 10%. This country is about drugs and surgery, not about avoiding drugs and surgery. So you're not going to see the kind of emphasis on light therapy or acupuncture or things like that, or what I'll call alternatives. But to be honest, in my opinion, the lights should set the pace. Everything should start. So let's try the lights first, and if that doesn't work, move on to something else. But we've yet to find very many things at all that we can't help. We talked about men's health. I'm not going to belabor that point. Found the answers to my prayers. So this is getting back to my nuttiness, as I had mentioned before. Effortless and healthy weight loss. We talked about that. Anti-aging facelift. Natural healing. It's an all-cash business. I don't deal with personal injury or health insurance or anything like that. And I hated that stuff, and it was something that got in the way of my enjoying my career, to be honest with you. I loved working with the patients, but all that other crap, well, this is an all-cash business. There's no insurance companies, no attorneys, as I said. It's unbelievably easy and quick to administer. I'm going to show you a video in a moment how easy it is to just get in and out of the bed. It does not require a health practitioner's license, and it can help a huge percentage of the adult population. So that's what the bed looks like, except, you saw it before. It can come in black or white. That's with the lights. Each one of these lights is set at 3 watts, and there are 3,400, so it's over 10,000 watt power. It also, each bed comes with foot pads. And that's because we want, even if it's just weight loss, these pads work great for detoxing the body. But if we're doing neuropathies or anything like this, this is great for any foot issues, any neuropathies, things like that. So let me just show you how easy it is to get in and out of this bed. So there are 3 steps. And the step 1 is you set the timer. So this is the old bed. The newer bed is more advanced, but it's still pretty much the same thing. You set the timer. The patient gets in the bed themselves. And by the way, they could set the timer themselves as well. The lights come on automatically, but this is showing that you also can control the power if the person wants to shut it off or whatever. Also, the person can have their head inside the bed or outside of the bed. You're seeing it with her inside the bed, outside the bed. So if someone's claustrophobic, and we really want to have their head completely in the bed, but if they're highly claustrophobic, what can you do, right? One of the things you can do is have this canopy up a little bit. As a matter of fact, these pictures that you're seeing, show the canopy up. I just want to show you this here. When they're taking these pictures, you can see that the canopy is way up. Normally it would be brought way down, depending upon what the person can tolerate. I bring it, when I have it on, when I'm in the bed, for me to scratch my nose, for example, I have to work my hand sideways and work it up to be able to scratch my nose, because we want the lights as close to the body as possible. So the 7 steps, and they're really easy. You go, Judy, go into room 3, because that's where the bed is. She removes her outer clothing. She's already been told to wear a bikini underneath. Judy sets the timer for 12 minutes. Judy gets in the bed. Judy gets out of the bed. Judy gets dressed and leaves. And the assistant or the next client wipes down the bed. So a lot of our facilities, if your assistant wipes down the bed and the next patient coming in doesn't see you do that, they're going to want to wipe down the bed anyhow. So some of our facilities just say, you know what, you wipe down the bed to your satisfaction. The specs of this are, first of all, the shipping's included. You can handle a person up to 400 pounds. The overall dimension of the bed is 6'2" and 3 feet. That is actually the light coverage. So it's not just, so you're covering from top to bottom, you're covering that complete area. The other bed that we were selling prior to this actually has less light coverage, even though the bed was a foot longer. Most of that was eaten up on nothing, just fluff or the frame. This bed is much more efficient, so you can get takes up less room in your facility, but it actually has more light coverage. The electrical requirements it is not a toy. This is serious stuff. So it does require 220 volts, but you just hand the instructions that we give you. We also send you the outlet, and you just have it installed. The sessions are 10 to 12 minutes, so you should easily see 3. Most of our facilities are seeing 4 people an hour. The LED rating is actually 100,000 hours. This is miswritten here, which means essentially at minimum it's a 10-year lifespan of the LEDs. The irradiant wavelengths are red and near infrared. The overall warranty is 5 years. And remember, there are no known side effects or risks. And the treatment is absolutely safe, non-invasive. The person, if they're getting a facelift here, they don't have to take any time off from work other than to see you. It's not like they have any downtime or anything like that. So if you're not currently offering this type of service in your office, I believe you're working at a distinct disadvantage. It's a great way to increase your income. It's a new client machine. And we include the first month of marketing with the purchase of the bed. And we're seeing great results of driving a lot of people into the facility. But also your current clients are going to rush to sign up for this because it's a winner. People, and the word will get around very quickly. Normally the programs are 10 to 30 sessions. So and the treatments, as I mentioned, how long they take. And ideally we're going to see the person like a workout 2 to 3 times a week. So what do we include? The bed, the shipping and delivery, the whole body vibrational system, the lymphatic massager, the body comp analyzer, the marketing material. And in the marketing material is the business cards, posters, pamphlets, referral cards, the waiting room book, but also the waiting room video, which is personalized for your facility. The one-on-one trainings, and then we also assign you a coach, which Jim will talk to you at the end of this. And then there's also Facebook marketing, which we also include the first month of, which will drive a lot of business to your facility. And then, of course, the unlimited customer support from my whole team for you. So what is the return on investment? So the lease usually costs around $1,000 a month or less. The average package that we sell to patients is around $2,400. So you can see it doesn't take much to not only make your money back, but our average facility is going to order another bed within 3 to 6 months because they're getting so busy they can't handle all the business. The average monthly gross, and this is low, is $10,000 to $20,000. So the way that one of my partners said, look, they're putting $1,000 in, into this slot machine, if you want to call it that, and they're getting $10,000 to $20,000 out after that. So I just wanted to listen to this last video. This is Penny, and have a listen.
Oh, everything's great. The bed has been a fantastic addition to our practice for sure. Particular client, she's been suffering with fibromyalgia and a whole bunch of other things as well for years. And from the first time that she went on the bed, everything has been subsiding. She's in remission right now. Pretty much everything is just completely amazing. So what I do love about the bed, I have the pad system and the bed. The bed, we're seeing 4 people an hour on the bed. Try the bed. You will for the first time that you try it, you'll see the difference. I absolutely love it. It actually works better because it's so powerful. And no, it's tightening the skin faster on the legs all around and the arms. And I'm getting grinning because when you talk about the benefits, it's not going to work for what I want to do because I focus mostly on weight loss. And it's doing that and more. There's nothing out there that you invested in that will pay your money back so quickly. And not only are you going to get your money back, but you're going to help many, many people.
Okay, so pretty helpful with Penny. When I first interviewed Penny, I was amazed at the kind of results she was getting. So So at any rate, listen, I want to thank you for listening to me. I'm going to bring Jim Miller on right now. He's an expert in light therapy, and he's going to review with you whether it makes sense for you to incorporate a bed into your practice.
I was just thinking, Walmart used to have a bunch of cases in there, but
Who are we
All right.
talking to?
No, that's right. I muted Stefan. He's not ready to come back on yet, so thank you. I don't think we are with cake. We are helping people get rid of cake. So, Todd, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Todd?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, fantastic. When's a good time for us to speak, later today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning. How about about 10:30?
10:30. That works perfect for me. And the 5419 number?
The 248-613-5419.
You got it. All right, I'll call you at 10:30. And you did get my last email, right, with all the information from Florida to...
Yes, I did. Thank you. It was very helpful, and I spoke to Mr. Thomas as well.
All right, perfect.
All right.
All right, man. I will talk to you tomorrow morning at 10:30.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
You're welcome. All right, Henry. You and I, we can call later this afternoon or tomorrow, and I can also get you on the phone with Chris Shea and go to the next level and see what is available for financing if you like. When's a good time for you? Henry, are you still there? Can you hear me? I think Henry might have muted himself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now. So when's a good time for us to hook back up, either today or tomorrow?
I could do today around 3:15. Talk for a minute.
That works for me as well. 3:15 it is. And I will call you then, and I'm going to call your cell with the ending in 4644.
That's it.
All right, I'll call you at 3:15.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I can't touch this.
Stephen, are you back? Dr. Wheeler? Dr.
Hey.
Wheeler? Hey.
Hello.
Would you like to schedule a call for later today or tomorrow where we can answer any questions you have?
That'd be great. How about tomorrow?
All right, what time tomorrow?
Sometime between 12 and 2.
All right, let me take a look at my calendar. I have 1 o'clock. Will that work for you?
Perfect.
All right, and you're Eastern, correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. The reason why I ask, Tennessee is divided, so. All right,
yes.
I will call you at 1 Eastern, and I'm calling the 423-512-0434.
Thank you, yes.
All right. I will also send you a little bit of information after the webinar, give you about a half hour, but we'll talk then and we'll answer any questions you have and see if it's a fit or not, okay?
Perfect.
All right, talk to you then. Thanks again.
You betcha. Bye-bye.
All right, Carl, thanks again for your time. I love the presentation, and I love how we're always improving the technology, and I keep learning more and more as well, believe it or not. It's just it's incredible. It's like a new iPhone every month.
So, Jim, would you mind calling me on the phone in a little while?
Yeah. Thanks again for the webinar, and I will give you a call. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.